I did my degree in maths in Queen's University from 2007 to 2010, and then did a PhD after that in Queen's in traffic flow modelling with statistics with operational research in there, and then got the job at Segmentation shortly after that. Apologies to anyone who was at the RSS conference. This is going to be a very similar presentation to what I presented in Manchester. So, quick overview of what I'm going to talk about. So, I'm going to talk quickly about the state of the PlayStation network, the data management and how we handle it, what we do in terms of data sciences within Sony PlayStation, my experiences so far, and a bit of businessy sort of talk around Agile data sciences at PlayStation, and then, as it's for the YSS, a little bit of a comparison between academia and industry work and how it differs. So, this is the good bit. We're doing really well. So far, we've got about 40 million PS4s out in the market with 110 million PlayStation users. And that means a lot of data. We've got a large push towards a digital service provider, so everything we do is being recorded and there's data constantly coming in from every corner of the business. So it's coming in from the consoles, so we've got PS3s, there's about 90 million of them, PS Vitas, there's about 10 million of them, and then 40 million PS4s. We now have peripherals like the PlayStation VR, which was released on the 13th there. We're getting data back from that, and that's really interesting data. We've got stuff from our store. We are a massive online retailer. For some of our games, we come in second in terms of digital sellers to Amazon, and we get all of the transactional data back from that. PlayStation.com, so we track movement around the website and can associate it with people moving around, so we can see sort of clickstream data from page to page and how that may change the way that PlayStation looks depending on the user. We have some off-console stuff with PlayStation app, which is on your phone, and some external data sources. So we collect data from retailers in terms of how many units they're selling and ingest that back into our own systems. A little bit about how we manage that data. So the data comes from the console every 5 minutes or so if you're connected to the internet. If you're not, it sort of stores up a cache and then releases it next time as a big burst. And it has two sort of tracks that it comes in. So CDN is a slower route and it takes anywhere between 24 to 48 hours because we've got to organise it, all the event data that's coming from the console. What we see is everything you do on the console apart from what's in-game. In-game we don't know because it's not our data. So it comes around to us in BIS, which is Business Intelligence Services, of which data science is part of, and we do all the processing on it on a daily basis. And the other quicker route is through AWS and an Apache server. We have a delay of about 4 to 8 hours, so that's quick data that comes in. What we do in terms of the data sciences team. So data sciences was formed inside of BIS around the launch of the PS4 back in 2013, and I joined about 6 months after the creation of the team. The point of it was to make it a more data-driven organisation. Up until this point, sort of the PS3 didn't do too well commercially in terms of our previous successes, and management thought that was probably because we were not utilising data as we should be. So what we aim to do is follow along with the Gartner chart here from descriptive analytics all the way up to prescriptive analytics. Now we are moving along this and we have points along here where we try and provide what we can. So in terms of descriptive analytics, in data sciences, we try to deliver some reporting analysis on customer behavior by combining a lot of the data sources together. They come from all different areas. and we bring them together to make it more manageable for people who want to just look at the data quite simply. Instead of diagnostic analytics, we want to look at the customer behavior and really try and drive some insight behind that and understand why people are doing what they do. We have some predictive analytics, which is further into the future. We're looking for customer targeting and lifecycle management. So once a customer comes onto our platform, what do we expect them to be doing all the way through? And prescriptive analytics, which in terms of, for data sciences, is a small part of what we do at the moment, but it's growing all the time. We do a lot of personalization and next best action sort of stuff in terms of recommendations and beyond. So we're trying to create a single view of the customer through their device and peripheral spend, their physical and digital game spend, and a bit of device and software spend. We want to know their lifetime value. As I said, when a customer comes on, we need to know quick what they're going to be worth as well as we can. We do a bit of behavioural segmentation, so after we've got a bit of data, what type of gamer do we see here? Are they somebody who is buying FIFA and Call of Duty, or are they somebody who would buy the Uncharted or the No Man's Sky, where they're a bit more exploratory and they're a bit, we call them escapers. They want to escape from reality. Or we do a bit of propensity modelling in terms of subscription services. So when somebody is lapsing off our services in terms of PS Plus, which is our subscription service, when do we expect them to come back, or do we expect them to come back at all? And if not, is there anything we can do to help them come back with a nice little email or something like that? A little bit about my experiences at PlayStation. So one of the things I've learned is if it can happen, it will happen. There's a lot of data, so we see any situation you can think of in terms of one person who has played 40 PlayStation 4s or one PlayStation being used by 100 people. Anything can happen. With the big data, there's the extremes on either end, and sometimes they're not correct, and that's when we've got to detect it and let other people know, but a lot of the times they are actually real situations. Unbalanced data is a reality, so most of the predictive stuff we do in terms of predicting something in the future is sometimes a minority, and you have to know how to deal with unbalanced data. So say I was trying to work out the likelihood of somebody buying a second PS4, so in terms of our 100 million users, the number of people who have already bought a second PS4 is tiny in comparison to those who haven't. If I fed that to an algorithm, it'll cheat and say everybody will never buy it and it'll be right most of the time. But you've got to learn to deal with that sort of data. NDAs upon NDAs. So the gaming industry, weirdly, is very secretive. In terms of this presentation, I had to go through several changes just to be able to present. It's a very strange industry in terms of that. They don't like sharing much at all. I mean, it's changing slightly where we're trying to talk to big companies and bring data in and give data back. So we're in talks with like the likes of Google and Spotify to try and share data a little bit, but it's very secretive. Know your audience. Seriously, know your audience here. You talk to a lot of different people in Sony. Some of them are very data savvy and will understand what you're talking about, but others, they're very new to it, and you've got to be gentle with them. And learning how to manage a globally diverse stakeholder network and team is quite difficult. So we have part of the data scientist team, we have people in America and we have people in London, and then we have stakeholders in the US and Japan and London and all over Europe as well. So managing all of them and what they want is quite difficult in terms of knowing their situation. We release several features that are born in Japan and are brought over to Europe and America, and they're not really thought about in terms of what is going to happen in the other markets. As an example, I mean, Japan has some of the fastest internet in the world, and they're releasing features that are internet-driven, and they're releasing them to places like Australia, where some people are still on dial-up. So we have to think about, we know that, and we have the data to be able to predict that there's going to be a problem, and managing marketing and stuff like that. And something I've learned is how to stay current. It's really, really fast in the tech business. So we can have leaks of information going out all over the place. We can have announcements of new consoles and new ideas, and we have to know how to react to that. And so how to do that in terms of data sciences, to be able to translate that to other people, is something I've been learning. This is the businessy side. So Agile is a concept that it's mainly designed for software developers, and it's meant to keep you always producing work. In terms of software, the development time can be sometimes years, but you've got to know how to manage it to keep it moving. That's all well and good for software. But in terms of statistics and doing data sciences, where sometimes people research orientated, those don't really work wholly in principle. So they've been adapted slightly to fit in around us, because there are several parts of data sciences. There is the statistics, which is a core part of what we do. There's the technical part, which is interacting with these new technologies like Hadoop and using Python and SQL and all sorts, knowing all of that intimately. And then there's also customer relations. So within data science, we have to talk to our stakeholders a lot. So being good at that is a big plus for data sciences. Now, academia versus industry work. I'll let you guess which side is which. So I couldn't show that to, well, I could show that to a couple of people within Sony, but I don't know anybody within Sony really who would understand 3D graph unless it's presented in a certain way. Most of them, unfortunately, still like pie charts. So from the work I've been doing, it's less about showing you're working, but providing top-level outcomes. It's very, very good what we do on the back end, but we don't always need to show that necessarily. It's something that your boss will want to see, but not necessarily your boss's boss. Thoroughly justify working against pretty dashboards that show visualization. This isn't entirely true. So when you're actually presenting it to a stakeholder, a nice dashboard with a pretty visualization is good, but you will have to have something to back it up. Take your time to consider your options. Doesn't really come about too often. We have these things within Sony known as like hackathons and innovation work, where you are given time to come up with new ideas, but most of the time you are trying to deliver a product or give some actionable insight, and it's normally on a strict time frame, so there isn't much time where you would take your work back and keep working on it for a few months. It's something that you'd have to be done quick. Using whatever is necessary to get the work done, that's not always possible. At least within Sony, we're working with huge amounts of data, and interacting with it is quite difficult. So the technologies that are provided are designed to work with our data. So being able to just break it out and put it into something, some tools like R is not always an option, because it can't interact back with our database. It's very good for small subsets of data, but at large scale we can't use it, so we don't use it all the time. And then always work to your stakeholders' requirements, because they're the ones who pay the bills in the end. Thank you very much.